Greetings, my dear friends. Today I am starting a new series about numbers. We have already talked about 3 and about 4, but today I want to start at the very beginning with the number 1. This is Dreamweaver Mystics, as always. 1. The simplest number, the smallest natural number, but also the most important. Without 1, there would be no 2, no 3, no million. Everything begins with it. What is 1 in mathematics? It is the foundation of counting, the point of reference, the axiom that needs no proof. 1 star, 1 planet, 1 human, 1 thought. 1 is indivisibility, wholeness, the beginning. In mathematics, the number 1 has unique properties. Any number multiplied by 1 remains itself. Any number divided by 1 remains itself. 1 raised to any power is 1. It does not change. It is constant. A symbol of unchangingness in a world where everything flows and changes. But 1 is not just a digit. It is an archetype, a symbol. In philosophy, 1 symbolizes unity, indivisibility, wholeness. When we say we are united, we mean that differences disappear and a single whole remains. 1 family, 1 nation, 1 humanity. This is the ideal we strive for and almost never achieve. In religion, 1 occupies a central place. In Judaism, the Shema, the main prayer. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is 1. God is 1, not 2, not 3, 1. This is the affirmation of monotheism. In Christianity, despite the Trinity, God is also 1 in 3 persons. 1 lies at the foundation. In Islam, the Shahada, there is no God but Allah. Oneness of God, 1 God. In Hinduism, with its thousands of gods, there is a higher reality, Brahman. It is 1. All gods are its manifestations. In Buddhism, there is no creator God, but there is a single nature of reality, emptiness, from which everything arises, and it is 1. 1 is the divine, that which cannot be divided, the original source, the Alpha, the beginning of everything. In numerology, 1 is the number of leaders. People born under the number 1, that is, born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th of any month, as well as those whose birth date sums to 1, have a special character. They are pioneers, innovators, leaders. They do not like to follow. They like to lead. They have inner strength, confidence, ambition. They know what they want and go straight toward it. 1s are not afraid of loneliness. They are comfortable being first, even if no one follows them. They often become entrepreneurs, inventors, executives, artists who blaze new trails. But 1 also has a dark side: pride, egocentrism, inability to work in a team. They can be arrogant, intolerant of others' mistakes, overly demanding. They find it hard to ask for help. They find it hard to admit they are wrong. The task of the 1 is to learn to balance leadership with collaboration, to be first, but not the only one, to lead, but not to suppress, to know their worth, but not to elevate themselves above others. In mythology, the number 1 appears less often than 3 or 4, because myths love multiplicity. 3 gods, 12 labors, 7 wonders. But 1 is the beginning of all these numbers, the first God, the first human, the first day of creation. In the Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That is one, the beginning. Not two, not three, one act of creation. In Greek mythology, the primordial chaos. Chaos is also a kind of one, unordered but unified. From it, the first gods were born. In Norse mythology, from the void of Ginnungagap, from fire and ice, the first giant Ymir was born. One. In Egyptian mythology, from the primordial waters of Nun, the first hill rose, and on it the god Atum was born. One. In every culture, there is the idea of a first beginning, a first cause, a first movement, and it is always one. In our daily lives, one is everywhere. One head, one heart, one sun, one moon, one life, one chance, one love. We say we need to come together. We are one. One man in the field is not a warrior. But sometimes, one warrior can change everything. One is the number of focus. When you concentrate on a single goal, you achieve more than when you scatter yourself across 10. One is priority. The ability to say no to 9 things in order to say yes to one. In this age of information noise, when we are bombarded by thousands of stimuli, the ability to return to the one, to what is most important, becomes a superpower. What is the most important thing for you? One thing. If you know the answer, you know the direction. One is also the number of solitude. Not bad loneliness, but creative solitude. When you are alone with yourself, you hear your inner voice. You understand who you are. You stop being part of the crowd and become yourself. Many people fear solitude. They run from it into companies, social media, noise. But it is in silence that great ideas are born. It is in solitude that a person meets God, the universe, themselves. One is also the number of beginning. New year, new month, new week, new day. Every morning is one. Every breath is one. Every choice is one. You can start a new life right now, with one decision, with one step, with one thought. One is the door. All the other numbers are the rooms behind it, but you can only enter through the door, through the one. In numerology, one is associated with the sun. The sun is one. It gives life. It illuminates. It is at the center. People of one often have a sunny character, bright, warm, attractive. But they can also burn if you get too close. I think that one is the most important number, because without it, nothing exists. First there is something one, then it divides into 2. Then from the interaction of 2, 3 is born. Then structure appears, 4. But everything begins with 1. When I look at the starry sky, I do not see billions of stars. I see one universe. When I look at the ocean, I do not see billions of drops. I see one ocean. When I look at humanity, I do not see billions of people. I see one family. We have forgotten this. We have divided ourselves. We have gotten lost in 2s, 3s, 4s. But deep down, at the very foundation, we are ones, parts of a single whole. And when we remember this, the world will change. And that is all for today. This was Dreamweaver Mystics. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and write in the comments, Do you associate yourself with the number 1? Were you born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th? Or does the number 1 follow you? I read everything. And remember, one thought can change your life. One step can begin a journey. One person can change the world. Until next time.